folks. Thank you for joining us today. Welcome to Thursday morning Pilates. I'm Jenny, for those folks that are not so familiar with the session. I'm hoping a few of the regular folks are joining in, although it is quite a lovely day out there. Or if you're watching back and doing it along later, then nice to have you with us at a later time. So the plan is, I think, to keep the Thursday morning Pilates classes online for another couple of weeks, just till we see what we're allowed to do in the next wee while. So I hope you have a little bit of space. I hope you have your mat set up in a warm and comfortable place. And we are going to, again, just go through some basic classes, basic moves and exercises during the class. I am going to assume some level of knowledge of Pilates, so please do bear that in mind as you go through the session. If there's anything which is not appropriate for you, then please skip it out. If you are in any doubt about whether you can do this exercise or any part of it, then please do not. Okay, pre-warning over. Let us begin. So take your feet hip width apart and just take a moment or two to set yourself up. So you want to try and see if your second toe roughly is then in line with your knees, and then up to your hips, and then up to those shoulders. So toes, knees, hips and shoulders are all in line. Then lift yourself up a little bit taller and straighter and stronger, and try and come into a tall and lifted and open posture. Bring your shoulders down, extend your arms by your side and reach your fingertips towards the floor. Your eye gaze is straight forward, so your neck is in a neutral alignment. Again, you should be pretty familiar with this. Just adjust your pelvis back and forth until you come into neutral. So find that position where the tailbone is pointing down the way and your hip bones, somewhere in here, are facing straight forwards. Your belly button is drawn in, that belt around your center is tightened to that kind of third notch on the strap. Keep that gentle tension and pulling of your tummy button. Lift on your pelvic floor. Maintain that openness across your upper body and chest. And just take a few deep and wide breaths. So as you breathe in, open your ribs and fill your chest to the sides, and then slowly and steadily breathe out. Take a breath in and breathe out one more time. Breathe in slowly and deeply and wide, and take your time and relax as you breathe out. Lift your shoulders up towards your ears and then let them go again. One more time. Rise up and then release. Lift up onto the balls of your feet, keep that tummy drawn in, and back you go. We'll do that a second time. Lift up, nice and easy, and back you go. Back to your shoulders, rise, and release. Just do two of each. Lift up and down. Feet and toes, rise and balance, and down you go. Same again, second time. Lift and hold, and back you go. Shoulders shrug up. Good, and release. Good stuff. Second one, lift up. And last time, through the feet and the lift and balance. Lift up and hold. Down you come. Lift up and hold. Squeeze that tummy in. Back you go. Good. Give your shoulders a roll round. So just loosen up there. And then change direction and go the other way. Keep that tummy drawn in and the back in that neutral position with your core engaged. Last one, good. And then this time I just want you to pedal through your feet. So just lifting your heel and pushing one knee forwards, keeping your hips nice and level. So your hips don't move, but you just move your knees forward and back and your heels come up and down. Keep that belly button drawn in and keep those feet and knees moving up and down and back and forth. Last couple down here. Good. And rest there. We're going to move both arm and leg now, and we're going to come into that toy soldier balance. So stand on your one leg, lift the opposite arm and hand. Squeeze that belly button in, hold the knee up, hold the opposite arm up as well. keep that belly button drawn in, keep those shoulders level and down, and then back to the mat. We'll do the same on the other side, so get your balance on the other leg, squeeze that tummy in, stay nice and tall, lift up and hold. So one knee is up and the opposite arm is also holding you in that lifted and balanced position. Down you come. Same again on the other side, so same as that first one, lift and hold. Okay, let's extend that leg forwards and then rise with that knee again. So point forwards and lift up. We'll do that twice more. Extend forwards and lift up. Ooh, how's your balance? Good. And lift. Swap over to the other side. Get your balance and then lift the knee and the opposite arm. Hold there. Ooh, get your balance, Jen. And then reach and rise. Reach forwards and rise. And again, we'll do two more. Keep your balance. Lift up and reach out and lift. Hold that balance. Says me wobbling around all over the place. Okay, back to feet hip width apart. Again, just set yourself up. We're going to sit back into our squat. So again, we're going to move a little bit more now. We're getting into it. So sit those hips down and come up. Take a shallow squat to begin. Just moving up and down. Your knees are going forwards as your bottom is going back. Your shoulders are staying down and open. And your arms just come up in front wherever feels comfortable. So lift and lower. Lift up and down you come. We'll do two more. Sink and rise. Last one. Okay. Take a couple of breaths again. We're going to reach down to the side this time. So keep your feet steady, hips are level, and down you go. And back up, and the other way. And we'll do that a couple more times. So just moving to the side, and back up. Keep those hips level, don't let them push out to the side. Last time on either side. Last time over here. And good. Okay, how are we doing? Going to just move our neck and head a little bit more before we go into our roll downs in a few moments. So drop your chin towards your chest, look up and forwards, then turn and look over one shoulder and turn and look over the other. Your knees are still soft, your tummy's still drawn in. Look again to the side and then round to the other side and back to the middle. Drop your chin towards your chest again. And look up and forwards. Good. Okay. Going to do last couple of balancing things. So we're going to be on one leg and we're going to go back and forth with the leg. So you're going to move your arms and legs to and fro. So you're going to try and stay balanced on this side. Reach arm and leg forward. Reach arm and leg back. Arm and leg forward. Arm and leg back. Okay. Are you still balanced? Are you wobbling a bit more now? Yeah, me too. Good. Last couple. Last one. Okay, other side. So get your balance. This is my not so good side. So reach and back. Reach and back. This is meant to be my better side for balancing. Yeah. Got worse on this side. Reach and back. Reach and back. One more time. Okay, right, enough of the balancing stuff. So we're going to go to one end of our mat and start to move up and down. So if moving up and down isn't for you, then you can always stay down in between when we come up and then rejoin us when we come back down to the mat. So straighten your mat out. Take your feet hip width apart at one end of your mat, just so you've got some room to travel forwards. Drop your chin towards your chest and roll down nice and slowly. We'll do a couple of roll downs before we travel anyway. And then roll and rise back up. Open the shoulders at the top, and we'll do that a couple more times. Remember, if a full roll down isn't suitable for you, then you can just go halfway to here and then come back up again. If there's any of the exercise, like I said at the very beginning, which are not right for you for whatever
just modify them or adapt them or skip them out entirely.
Good. Okay, when you come back up to the top, take a couple of breaths here, because we are going to roll down again, but this time we're going to walk out and travel forwards towards the top of our mat. We'll come onto our knees for the first time that we do this. So drop your chin towards your chest, let your hands hang down in front, let your head and neck release, bring your arms down towards the floor, walk your hands out, bring your knees onto the mat and walk your hands out towards the other end of your mat. Put your hands roughly shoulder width apart and shift your body weight forwards. So your hands are beneath your shoulders, your knees are back from your hips, and as you hold this prone bridge on your knees, draw your belly button in towards your back and hold that straight line from your knees through your hips to the back of your head. Squeeze that belly button in towards your back and hold there. Now tuck your toes under, walk your hands back in towards you, and we're going to stand. If coming back up is too much, stay down. You can rejoin us in a few moments when we come back down. Take that mini back bend at the top and look forward if that feels comfortable. Let's go again. Roll down, walk your hands out, still on your knees, take the hands forwards, shift your body weight out, extend through the back of the neck, long through the legs, strong through the core. Eyes are looking down and towards the top part of your mat, so your eye gaze needs to be forwards and in front so that you keep that neutral position through your neck. Squeeze your belly button in towards your back and hold there. From here, tuck your toes under, straighten one leg, stretch, put that knee down, straighten the other leg and put it back down one more time. Squeeze that belly button up and in, straighten one leg, push that back of the knee up towards the roof, straighten the other leg and back down, both knees down, toes are still tucked under. Walk your hands back in and then roll yourself back up in that reverse of the roll down to come back up to standing. Open your shoulders out at the top. Take a couple of breaths here and we're going to roll down again. Option and progression this time is to walk out on your feet rather than go down onto those knees. So chin comes down, roll yourself down and forwards, let your head and neck relax. Option is to come to your knees, or your progression is to walk out just on your hands. Either one, come into that full prone bridge or plank on your knees or on your toes. Squeeze that belly button in towards your back and hold that prone bridge or plank. Squeeze your abs up and in, keep that long straight line through your back. Hold this position. Good. Everyone come to your knees, so on your knees as you were, or down onto your knees if you're up. Walk those hands back in and roll yourself back up to standing. Getting warmer? Just me. Take a breath. We're going to do that again. So, if it gets too much, somebody's going to get harder. So, just be a little bit sensible and do what you can. So, if they get too much harder, then just take a rest as you need. Drop your chin towards your chest. Roll yourself down. Let your hands come out in front. Modification is on your knees. Progression is on your toes. Walk yourself out and hold. So from this high plank position, if you're on your knees, you're going to lift one leg up. Those up here on your toes, you're going to drop one knee down and then straighten. So if you're starting on your knees, you're doing the opposite to this. If you're up here on your toes, one leg at a time is bending and tapping that knee down to the ground. You can take a rest as and when you need to. Keep the arms strong and hands under those shoulders. Squeeze that belly button up. Try and keep the hips nice and level as you move the legs up and down. Last couple. And make this one your final one. And lift. Walk those hands back in. You can come to your knees for that part if you wish. And then lift back up to standing. Whew. One more.
Hands come down in front, let that head and neck go. Walk those hands out and forwards. Move your hands to beneath your shoulders. Extend and lengthen through the legs, through your back long and strong, through your neck, lifted and extended. Squeeze that belly button up and in, hold here. Okay, drop both knees to the ground. Take a breath, tuck those toes under, straighten out through both legs and lift. Squeeze that tummy up and in, hold that position. Both knees come down. Still with me? Take a breath, we've got a couple more to go. Extend and lengthen through the legs. Squeeze that belly button up and in. Knees come down. We've got one more lift to go. Toes remain tucked under. Knees lift as you straighten through the legs. Come into that high plank or prone bridge position. Drop your knees back down to the ground. We're going to take a stretch, don't panic. So feet come together and knees separate. Push your bottom back and reach your arms forwards. So just take a moment to stretch out in that child's pose position. So stay down for just a moment longer. I'm going to give you a little bit of time to stretch and relax. Keep pushing your hips and bottom back and down as you reach and extend your arms forward and away. Okay, carefully push yourself back up, and then we're going to come forwards into our all fours or hands and knees position. So just take your time. If your wrists are a little bit achy, you can come onto your fists, or you can put your hands on the edge of blocks or bricks if that feels better. So from here, knees are roughly beneath your hips, hands are beneath your shoulders. Just take a stretch for me, that cat-cow type position, arching your back one way then the other. So rounding your back and pushing it up towards the roof, and then dropping your head and chest through and curling your back in the other direction. So lift and stretch, and then the other way. Last one. Good. And come through the center. So strongly lift your belly button towards the back, Squeeze your abs up and in, and then we're going to start by moving one leg at a time. So push one leg back and then bring it under. So one leg's moving in and out. Keep those hips nice and steady. Keep your shoulders level. Both hands are down for now. And I'm doing my right leg, doesn't matter which one you're on, but stay on whichever side you're working with. And just move that knee in and out. So push back and come under, push back and come under. Give me a couple more on this side, because then we're going to swap to the other leg. And so make this your last one, and come back. Same on the other side. So I'm now going to switch to my left, and I'm going to push that left leg back and bring the knee underneath of me. So push and under, press back and under. So moving that leg in and out, keeping those hips as level as you can as you move to and fro, under and away, under and away. Last couple. Final one, and good. Just sit back a moment, just give your wrists a bit of a chance to recover. Done a little bit of work on them over the last few minutes, so just take a bit of time to give them a break, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do next. So you're going to go back onto your hands and knees. You're going to float one hand, so I'm going to do this with my left hand, going to float my left hand and push my right leg back. And I'm just going to hold that balance. I'm going to hold this one together. We'll hold for a few moments on one side, and then we'll swap over and do likewise on the opposite side of our body. So just set yourself up to begin. On both hands and both knees, neck nice and long, tummy drawn in. So it doesn't matter which side you do, but I'm going to start with my left hand lifting and my right leg pushing back. So squeeze your core up, one hand lifts, opposite leg presses back, and just hold. Eyes are looking down, neck is staying long. Hold that balance, squeeze that tummy in. Try and wobble as little as you can. I feel I'm moving more than I ought to be. Bring the hand and knee down and in, and we'll do likewise on the other side. So this time I lift my right hand and I push and stretch my left leg back, and do the same thing and just hold. So keep those hips level, keep the hand floating and the leg extended and foot hovering or lifting behind us. So squeeze that tummy in, hold the hand and leg in that balanced position and stay here for a few moments more. Good. Bring everything back down. This time we're going to start with that balance and lift, and then we're going to start to move in and out. And then we're going to hold and balance with opposite arm and leg extended. So go back to the first side you did, so I'm back to left arm and hand and right leg. So lift everything up and then press everything away and then come in and away. So the fingertips reach forwards as the opposite foot and leg extend back behind you. So you're moving smoothly in and out, coming in and reaching away. Feel a bit wobbly today. Must be a bit out of practice. On the next one, reach and hold. So leg goes back, arm goes forward, squeeze your abs in, squeeze your belly button in towards your back, hold that balance, fingertips reaching one way, foot reaching back in the opposite direction. Stay here for 2 more seconds, and then bring yourself back down. Other side, even better than the other side. Okay, so lift your hand and knee, and then start to move. So arm and leg come back and forth, hand under, and leg under, and then hand away, and leg back behind you. So just moving nice and smoothly, in and out, back and forth, keeping those hips level, keeping the arm and leg moving and flowing smoothly and freely. And again, just give me 2 more, and then we'll hold. So on your next one, reach the leg back and the arm forwards. So hold in this extended and long position, fingertips reaching one way and the leg reaching back in the other direction. Squeeze that core up and in, try and hold that balance and wobble as little as you can. I think I'm better on this side, hard to tell. 2 more seconds here, and then bring everything in. Again, take a sit back, separate the knees and take a stretch for me. So let your head and neck relax and let your arms reach forwards as your bum pushes back behind you. Okay, right. We're going to carefully come round onto our seated position before we move round onto our back. So bring your legs underneath you, and you probably want to do a shimmy forwards on your mat. So I'm going to show you from the side and the front, but I'll start side on as I'm here. So legs extended and roughly mat width apart, just depending on how long your legs are and how wide your mat is, I suppose. So lift up nice and tall and just try and lift up and stay lifted and work hard to hold that good posture. I'll come round to the front so it's slightly easier to see. So toes are pointing towards the roof, body is long and lifted, and just work hard to sit in this tall and upright position. And now you can relax. So your hip flexors are working quite hard, your core is working hard, your back is having to lift and lengthen to hold you there. So extend the legs again if you've relaxed. Toes are pointing up towards the sky, neck nice and long as well, shoulders are down, and sit nice and tall. Now, use your hands to lift you up a little bit straighter and then bring them back in front and maintain that lift and hold that good posture. Keep breathing, don't hold your breath, and work really hard to sit up nice and tall and maintain that length through your spine from your tailbone all the way through to the top of your head. Are your legs? Are they feeling like they're working too hard? Mine are. Okay, relax. Relax. Right. Bring your legs together. so your feet are together and your legs are also together. Then I want you to point your toes forwards and lift them up. So a little bit of work through your ankles. So sit nice and tall, stretch your feet and pull them in towards you, and then point your toes forward. So reach them up and point them away, reach them up and point them away. So you get a little bit of stretch in your calf muscle as you pull your feet in towards you, and you get a little bit of length and stretch through your shin as you point your toes away. Give me 2 more. Get a little bit of a rest as well, because we're going to work harder again in a minute. Last one, and rest there. Just let your feet sit in wherever a comfortable or relaxed position is, because you're going to lift up nice and tall again. You can prop yourself up with your hands if you wish, or use your own strength to hold you up nice and tall, and you're going to lift one leg at a time off the ground. Now, maintain that good and strong posture through your body as you lift your legs and heels. Come off the ground one at a time. Surprisingly difficult. Good. Give me a few more, because I'm having to work quite hard to do this. And last one on each side. Okay, relax for a moment while I show you what we're going to do next, because you are going to open your legs and feet to mat width or a little bit wider than your shoulders, and we're going to come into a saw position. So you're going to bring your arms up and out to the side. I'm going to reach one hand across and towards the other leg. So my right hand looks like my left is going to reach towards the outside of my left leg. So I'll show you at once and then just join in as you're ready. So reach up and then reach. So hand goes towards the outside of the foot and the other arm extends behind. Lift up and reach. So just join in as and when you're ready. So nice stretch and twist. Good stretch for the back of the legs. And crunch. Something clunked. I don't mind the crunchy bit. Not too sore. Lift up and reach. So just good movement through your torso and through your trunk, just moving up and down and forwards and back. So reach and extend. Some of you will be a lot more flexible. In fact, most of you will be a lot more flexible than I am. And you'll be able to probably get past your foot rather than just about reaching it. So reach forwards and come up. And one more time on each side. Oh, that side's tight. Last one. And up you come. Bend your knees as you bring your legs back in together. Heels on the ground. Knees up and comfortably bent. Sit yourself up nice and tall. Then curl your tailbone under and just hinge back and lift up again. So you're not going back too far. You're just rolling back. Relatively easy and comfortable distance, moving yourself back down and lifting yourself back up. So curl that tailbone under and use that strength in your core and not too much your hip flexors to bring you back up. Easier said than done, right? So roll yourself down and back and lift yourself up again. Now we're going to go back and hold on this next one, so hold, come with me. So go back and hold. Take this leg and reach it forwards. Place that heel down. We'll do the same on the other side. So reach the other leg down and out and back in. So out and back in. Other side. And now we're coming up. We good? Can we do that again? So sit nice and tall to begin with. Now curl that tailbone under as you hinge and slump back. Take one leg and reach it out. Place the heel back down, likewise on the side. Reach that leg out and down. One leg forward and back. Forward and back. We've got a few more to go. So out and in. How's your hip flexors? Tight. Out and back in. Last one. Stay here. We fine? Lift yourself back up. Okay. We are going to come round onto our back. So wherever you are on your mat, just move yourself to a position that your bottom is roughly in the middle so that you can stretch out, legs extended and arms reach overhead. Just take a full body stretch. You get a nice stretch for your hip flex as well as you reach out and back. Oh, breathe. Good. And then come round. Just going to do a couple of stretches here. So bend your knees in and hug your right knee. It's tricky to figure out which one was. Hug your right knee in towards your chest and extend your left leg away. So we've done a little bit of work on our hip flexors, so get a little bit of a stretch here. So extend that straight leg out as you draw and pull the bent knee in. Good stuff. And then carefully release and swap over. Hug and pull the other knee in as you stretch and reach the other leg away. Good. Okay, and then we're going to move smoothly back and forth as you come in with one leg and out with the other. So keep the shoulders and head off the mat and just move back and forth, knee coming in one side then the other. So pull that leg in and stretch the other leg away. Just nice and smooth transition, one side then the other. Last couple, and then rest there. Put your feet down on the ground and just take a moment or two, just take a couple of breaths and just relax just for a moment. So we're going to do a similar thing, but we're going to do that with straight legs this time. So again, a flowing motion, moving up and down or back and forth with the legs, but we're going to try and have straight legs. My legs won't be straight, so because my hamstrings are tight. So extend one leg and put the other leg up in the air, and then swap over and try and get your legs a bit straighter than mine. So stretch and reach and stretch and reach. I was meant to work on my hamstring flexibility, wasn't I, during the holidays? Wasn't very effective. So switch and switch, switch. Oh, this one needs some work, doesn't it? Didn't we? So stretch and stretch. Last couple. Breathe and reach. And then pull everything in. Just give your back a little roll round side to side and back and forth. And then again, just put your head and neck down and put your feet back on the floor, because we're going to do a couple of roll ups next. We did some roll backs a little while ago when we were seated. We're now going to do some roll ups. So feet flat on the floor, equidistant from your body, knees just comfortably bent. Gently tuck your chin in and lift as you take your hands on top of your legs and thighs and roll and lift up and slowly down. So it's a small movement. Chin tucks in, lift yourself up. Try and get your fingertips somewhere near to your knees and then roll back down. So tuck in and lift and then down you go. Same again, we'll do a few more here. And back. Good. Last one. Lift up and back down. Okay. Again, we're going to do a fairly flowing movement and exercise, but just position yourself so that you come into neutral before we do the next part. So find that position where the hip bones are facing up towards the sky and your tailbone is anchored and steady on the mat, and just hold that natural curve through your back, just a big or a small space underneath your lower back, just whatever is natural or neutral for you. Hip bones facing up, belly button drawn in, tummy nice and tight, arms relaxed, and just go into those flowing heel slides, moving one leg in and the other leg out, and just nice and smoothly move back and forth, keeping that tailbone anchored, keeping your back in that neutral position as you move your legs smoothly to and fro. Good. Going to give me a few more here. Last couple. And last one on either side. Take both arms overhead and then sweep them round by your side and take them back over the top. So a little bit of work on your shoulder mobility. So we're going to try and get both hands to go behind you and try and get your thumbs to touch the floor behind you. Some of you may only get here, which is fine. Just get as close as you can to the floor and then sweep them round. So over, hands touch the ground, sweep them round and back up. Last time. Back is still in neutral, abdominals are still drawn in and back you come. Okay, back to lower body and back to legs. But this time we're going to come up into tabletop. So recheck that you are in neutral. Reposition your lower back so you are in that neutral position, and then one leg at a time come up into tabletop, and again we're going to move back and forth and flow with the legs in and out. So if this is too much, you can always do this one leg at a time with a foot on the floor, but those that are happy up in here, just move your feet and legs in and out, sliding back and forth, keeping your back nice and level, moving in and out, nice and steady, nice and easy, holding that neutral position through your back as you move your legs in and away. Nice and steady, nice and easy. Extend and bend, extend and bend. Hold that neutral position, keep that tummy drawn in, back and legs moving in and out. Last couple. And final one each side. And then rest there. Okay, we're going to do the same thing with the arms, but we're going to have the legs in tabletop. So you're going to sweep the arms round, but you've got to hold your legs in tabletop. So you've got to think a little bit more about engaging your core to hold neutral with your legs up, because your arms are going to be moving as well, remember. So in neutral, knees up, knees above your hips, and then take your arms round. Your legs are staying still. Your lower body is staying really steady as you move your arms round and over and back and round the side. Okay, good. So over and back, thumbs hit the ground, round you go. I'm going to do a couple more. Your hips and knees are staying really still. Your core's working actually pretty hard here to hold you nice and steady as you move everything round and over. And you've got one more sweep to go with the arms. So last time over and last time round, and come back and hold. Good stuff. Hug your knees into your chest and give your back a little bit of a roll and stretch. Okay. Legs extended. This time we're going to just lift one leg at a time up and down from an extended leg position. So hip bones facing towards the ceiling, tummy button drawn in, nice and steady and held through your hips, and just lift up and down. Can you hear Mark shouting in the background? Maybe it's not that loud. We're about to go and start deliveries for the Thursday run. So lift one leg up and down, nice and steady, lift and lower. Keep that back in that neutral position, keep your hips nice and steady, hold that level position across your pelvis, up and down, nice and steady, one leg then the other. Good. Good. Quite noisy, there's something going on out there. There's quite a lot of laughing and chuckling. Wonder what's happening. Last couple. And final one. And then rest. Take a full body stretch. Reach your arms overhead, extend your legs long. Fingertips to toes, reach and stretch. Okay, right. A little bit of work in shoulder bridge to finish up for the last few minutes. So
Bend your knees again, feet are again flat on the floor, knees and hips level. Take your time to lift from your core, so from your belly button is the work coming from here rather than from your legs too much. So roll and lift your hips in, lift from your center, roll yourself up, one bone at a time, up into that shoulder bridge position. Hold here for a moment and work hard to stay lifted and level before you come back down nice and smoothly and slowly. We'll do that a few more times. So feet grounded, knees level, hip width apart. Take each vertebra off the ground one by one. Work smoothly as you lift and hold, and then nice and smoothly and controlled as you come back down. Good, do that again. Roll and lift up. Good. And then down you come. So wobbly. Good. Try and be level if you can. Try not to let your hips move side to side. And down you go. On the next one, we're going to come up and hold. So curl that tailbone in, press gently into the feet, lift strongly from your core, come up and hold. So your knees, hips and shoulders are in line. Hold in that top position. Take both arms, take them overhead, sweep them round by your side, and repeat that movement so your hips stay up. Hold this bridge position. Take the arms over. If doing the arms as well is too much, just hold the bridge. Don't worry about moving the arms as well. So bring them round, hold in that bridge position, work super hard to stay up here. Good, round, and round you go. We've got 2 more to go. Over with the arms, round the side, and this is your last one. Work hard to stay up, over and round. Leave the arms down by the side this time, and slowly come back to the ground. Now, just take a couple of breaths here, and then just take one knee at a time in towards your chest, and just give a little roll side to side. Good. Extend one leg up and put the other foot down, so just stretch through the back of the leg. Good. And then take the leg that's in the air, across your knee, and just let that knee drift out to the side. Good, get a bit of a stretch through your hip and your glute. Take both hands in between that leg and pull your thigh in towards you, and keep pressing the outside knee away from you. And then we'll swap over. So the opposite leg goes up in the air and the other foot is down on the ground. So stretch through that leg. And then the leg that's in the air, cross it over and let it rest on the opposite knee, and let that knee that's bent just drop out wide to the side. Then take both hands in between and hold onto your thigh, and then the leg that's out wide, gently encourage it to stretch and push out that way. Good. Both feet down on the ground, both knees together. We're going to twist and stretch to one side, so carefully let your knees drift over in one direction and keep your arms down and out wide. Squeeze your tummy in, support your back as you bring your knees through the center, and just twist and stretch the other way. And then come back in. And we're going to come back up to standing. So take your time. Come round onto those hands and knees. Take a second or two down here before you come back up to standing. So your toes are tucked under behind you, and you're going to roll yourself back up. Whew. So come back into the middle of your mat. Take your feet again roughly hip width apart. Then just find your balance and steady yourself for a second.
nice and tall and strong through your posture. Squeeze your belly button in towards your back, open out across your shoulders. We're going to stretch and balance to finish. So hold nice and strong, lift up and balance. And down you come. Last two. Lift up, hold that balance. And down you go. Final one. Take a breath, squeeze that tummy in, lift and hold. Good stuff. And slowly down. Okay. All right, folks, thank you very much for joining us this morning, or later, if you're joining us at a later time. We'll see you next Thursday morning.